So, I want to plan out this pathing first. I know this is the lowest of lowest priorities. We're not worried about this yet. But I do want to plan out the pathing for this first, so that we could get moving on to not having to worry about it when it comes to that. So what I'm thinking is, that's not going to really work all that well unless I do this. And then we're going to need this here and that right there. Then we're going to need something tall to connect this like this. That'll work. Like that. So we're gonna start them pathing up. Our drought is over, so everything's running again. This will just come across this way, and then we can start going up here, and also I'm trying to figure out a good way to do this without using too many materials, but also making sure that they can reach everywhere they're trying to reach. So like, and I also want to minimize additional path creation. They should be able to build up that way. And then it's coming down, which we're going to set up with this. We're going to set up another zip line here, is what I'm thinking. And then with a pylon there so that we can connect here to here. And then we can make our way down. So that shouldn't be too hard. First of all, we can just go here, 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 there. Perfect. I want to try to minimize building as many platforms as I can for now, because our resources have been pretty low, especially planks. But I think what we're going to need to do is at least do a platform here with some stairs going across here. So get them over there, and then they should be able to build right from here to build down. I think that should work. I'm not entirely sure, but that is last priority. That is the lowest of low. Like, they're not even going to make their way out here until they get this stuff done, because this is so far away. It says too far from a district, and it is very far from a district. They're not going to even bother getting out here until they get the zip lines done. So that we're still waiting for these zip lines. This is being built up. We need beavers. We need more beavers. That is one of the issues. And I was talking about last episode, playing with the idea of maybe turning some of these, some of this area into like additional homes. And I like that idea. So I'm going to grab housing, put a housing there. No, that's actually going to be too close to that. I don't like the housing right there. Put the housing right here. And we can set up this right there. Just set up a couple of beavers living out here, so that, like, if they're working out here, maybe they're the ones that work there. I like the idea of that. And then I think I'm gonna do... get some beavers over here. I can get some beavers right here, actually. Easily. Just some rural housing. And then what we'll do is, we've got the water, we've got some water that they can drink from here, and we'll get some food storage set up over here as well. We'll get some bread and some chestnuts set up out here. so that this way, like, the beavers that live out here can have food. Now, this is 9 houses. I think it's 3, 6. No, it's 9 each in each house, I believe is what those are. 9 beavers, 9, 18, 27 more beavers to live out here. So what we're going to need to also do with that is we're going to need to set up some decorations and well-being for them so that they're happy. A couple of contemplation spots so they can sit there and think about life. We can get a bulletin board so they can keep up with what's going on in the town center. And then just relaxation. Relaxation. I like these hammocks. And then yeah, these two people, these two sets of houses, they have to live right next to somebody working, but once that's gone, that's gone. And that'll be nice, and it'll look very pretty. And I think that's what we're gonna set up out here for now. Maybe some med beds and some showers for them as well. Just make it so that it's comfortable living out here, and they've got food, they've got water, they've got stuff that they may need, and this way we can start growing our beavers colonies even more. This house over here definitely need to set up some decorations, some lights out in the corners, some shrubs, a bulletin board. Would a wood fence really matter? A wood fence wouldn't really matter. Let's get a scarecrow just because that's fun to have out here. Yeah, I like it. Give them like expand the housing a bit more so that they're not just all living in one spot. Like you can choose to live here if you want, especially if you work here or around here. Like you could choose to live out here, but like, you know, if you work here at this pump, you're gonna want to live out here. Like that's just gonna be nice. It's just gonna be nice. Plus, like you got lakeside living and stuff like that. It's beautiful. I want to also, while we're thinking about well-being and stuff, I feel like we should focus on turning this into the town center. Like I said, all of this is just like it's gonna happen when it happens, when they've got downtime and I'm not thinking or doing anything. We've got this built up, so I want to actually real quick, let's keep going over here with this, and let's get a connection down to the water right here, because I want to get dams built over here. Because we can get dams built, then it'll hold water during a drought. And so to do that, do I want to do dams? Yeah, we'll do dams for now. If I decide to do anything else with this area, we'll change it up and won't just do dams. Because, like I said last episode, I was thinking maybe it'd be fun to turn this into another, like, big lake area. And just flood this whole area. It might be fun to do that and just flood this whole thing up to here. And just have it be a big lake, and then we can live off here. And so... But it's I don't know what I want to do with this area yet. I don't know what I want to do, but I do want to at least dam it up so the water stays here during a drought, and they're finishing up this, so we're never going to get bad water from here. So that's going to be done and dealt with. That's good. But it looks like they were actually busting out. Oh yeah, they were busting out a lot of this over here that I had already put together, and everything's been built or is being built, which is nice. We need to focus on, let's see, I think we need to focus on setting up or reorganizing this area. But in order to do that, I feel like we should probably store some planks. We've got plenty of food, we've got plenty of water and everything like that, so I'm not too worried about like disconnecting the power at this point. And if I am going to disconnect the power, it's going to end up, I'm going to start reorganizing some of these power connectors as well. So I think it's a time of delete everything. And if I like delete these, then it'll be like if I delete these, I'll get back a lot of the planks. If I delete these, I'll get back a lot of the planks. If I delete all this stuff, and what I'm gonna need to worry about at the moment is how much of everything we have. So let's see, we've got the treated planks and scrap metal right here. I could move that. I could empty these into a different one for now, so that we could remove them. And I think that's going to be the plan. So let's get some storage. We'll just get some regular large piles. And I just want these to obtain goods from other warehouses. I don't want them to get goods from here. So we get these done, and then we can destroy this stuff and start moving things around and reorganizing things. So let's look at this while we're waiting. We got 2 grist mills. I think I'm gonna stick with the 2 grist mills. We got the explosives factory. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 plank makers. We have 1, 2 gear makers. We have 1 smelter. 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 5 plank makers. 5 plank makers, 2 gear makers. Alright, let's just demolish this. We don't need the rest of that. We've already loaded it up over there. Yeah, so let's figure this out. I'm going to disconnect all of this, basically. This is all going to get destroyed, and we're going to start building closer to the back, and I'm going to figure out ways to get this to work more efficiently than just having it all laid out. Like if we can make a straight path, yeah, that's kind of what I want. I want a straight path back here to set them all. I want a straight path in the middle so that they can go back and forth and they don't have to go around. So let's figure that out as best we can. Some of this stuff is going to be blasted down into the ground. Like this is probably going to stay, but I think I'm going to get rid of these as well. This is a project I've never actually done something like this before, so I've never like deleted everything and restarted. But let's just do it. Let's just do it. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's actually, real quick, let's set up a storage right here. This is set to empty, and this will be set to only obtain from warehouses and for gears. So that this way, if we have to demolish that, we can. Everything else I'm not too worried about. The pine resin, there's only 30. The bread, there's only 12. Like, I'm not too worried about that. But let's do it. Let's do this. So we connect this to here, and then I'm gonna do what I did here over here. I'm going to blast this down, and I'm gonna connect it here. And that will have all of this connected, and it'll reconnect all of our power. And this way, this is a little bit more, I mean, it's still just as long, but I can then move some of the storage up to here. It's a little bit more organized in my opinion. I'm just gonna mark all of these, I just want to get rid of them so they're not up here anymore. And this way, when we start to do robots, which will be up here, oh, this path is missing. And it didn't really matter, but I didn't realize that path was missing. And then all I gotta do is build the paper mill and the printing press and all this stuff. But we need the logs to be running, and yeah, great. I like the new look, because I mean I could still hold on. Let's get rid of this for now. And that was the printing press. And I could set it up here and here. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. Hopefully we can get this built pretty quickly. I need them to prioritize this real quick. Do we have dynamite? Do we have explosives? Yeah, we've got plenty of explosives. Smelter, paper mill, printing press. And then we can even expand a little bit more over here. It leads for more expansion. Alright, we're gonna detonate this. We're gonna build a path right over it. We'll high prioritize this so they can run across here if they need to, just for now. And then we'll set up an elevated, and then one here. And that'll get that all connected again. I like that a lot better than what we had before. It's actually a little bit more organized, a little less messy. The only problem is that books, and we'll just do books for both of them. The only problem right now is that the storage itself is going to be away from the factories. Before, the storage was a little bit closer, but it's still, I like it more than what we had. And then we can add on additional factories if we need to. What does the explosives factory require? What does it look like? Where do I have my explosives factory at? I guess that's the question. Did I delete the explosives factory? Or did I put that somewhere? Does it need power? It does. I didn't build an explosives factory. Set that up right there. Alright, so yeah, it makes more sense to me. And then the stairs aren't protruding out so far. I know this takes more pad. Actually, it looks like it's better. We have the power out of the way, so we can maybe connect and build more if we need to. We don't need... we don't need to step over things. I like it a lot more. I like it a lot more than what we had before. And again, we can just cover up the power lines. They're all just underground power lines if we wanted to build over it. Looks like we have it all connected again. We do. It's all connected again. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how this turned out. I've been wanting to redo this for such a long time, just because it looked like a mess. But now it's just it's a lot cleaner, and we can then so let's just move these piles. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do underground piles for all of our storage over here. Awesome. I'm happy with how that worked out. I'm happy with how that comes out. It looks a lot better. We can actually like set up some well-being or some decorations out here. You're at the contemplation spot. At least it looks nicer and it's not a mess. And then all this stuff is going to be emptied out eventually, and we'll remove it, and we can. It'll be. I like it. I like it a lot. It makes me happy. It makes me so happy to have reorganized this. I was afraid of how much work that was going to be, the reorganization, but it really does make me happy to have had finally taken the time to reorganize this the way it is now. Just make it look nicer, have different things, lanterns. Set up a fence right here so that people don't go to the tower pylons, but if a worker needs to get there, you know, stupid stuff like that. And then, alright, we got water, and we got bread. Why does it seem like we're low on bread? Oh, well, we were out of... Oh, I haven't made a grist mill. Oh, no. Okay. So, that's stuff that we need as well. We should prioritize the grist mills, because I totally forgot about those. One's gonna need to be done for wheat flour. One's gonna need to be worked on tap-tap flour. But then, like, it's so much faster to get to the storage over here because they're not having to go up and down and around. They're all just going back and forth, up and down. It's the explosives factory, which I don't... It's fine. And the paper mill, which is running around this way. We do need to set up storage for the... I didn't want punch cards, I wanted books. We do need to set up storage for the printing press stuff. Which, what does this require? It requires paper, and the paper mill requires just logs. Okay. Start giving them books to read. Let's look at our wellness. Beasting and injury, like that's just gonna happen. Agora and dance hall, detailer, Lido, carousel, mud pit, and books. A weather vane. I guess we haven't set up a weather vane yet. So I guess a weather vane could be nice right here. And right here. Maybe if we place it right there. Yeah, they're going up and down here, just going right into there, and then they're going to be sending stuff over to this way. I'm happy with how that turned out. I really am. I know I've said that a million times, but I really am just so happy with how that went. And now we can easily expand if we need more planks or something else. We've opened up this area to expand for whatever else we may need to start making. It's just the storage is going to take a little bit of time to put together, but oh, the treated planks are already done, the regular planks are done, and now it's just making the scrap metal. Oh, we need a gears warehouse. Let's just turn this into gears, and then mark this as empty. It is unfortunate though that like if they're trying to get to here to get up and around, they'll either have to just run across. Like there's no quick path from here to here, but that's fine. This is more for workers here. This is more for workers here than it's for beavers from over here to get to over there. What is this complaining about? Oh, there's no paths. But I like our little area over here. Did we set up any shrubs? No. But this beaver should be working on clearing this faster because we have a lot more raw metal storage. Yeah, and look, now when you're at the contemplation spot and you're looking around contemplating life, it's like, oh, that looks nice over there. That's pretty. And okay, that's where all our food is and that's where we live. You know, I want to go live somewhere else. So let's go live in the lake over here. Or let's go live over here. Are we done this yet? Did we do this yet? We did. Oh, there's one more space that I need to dam up. I did not see that before. So yeah, it really raises a question. I could turn this into just another housing settlement and house or farm, place for beavers to live their life and be happy, and then they can, oh, we want to go into town today, or I gotta go into work today, stuff like that. I don't know, I'm being dumb about this. And let's do some small storage while we're thinking about it. Small warehouse. I'm gonna place it right here for books. And then we're gonna do some small warehouse over here. Books. $30 well-being because they all now have books. Viewers are happier than ever. Alright, so now that all that's done and dealt with, I want to figure out these. So we have, what is it, 3 grills, because we have 3 grilled recipes. We have 3 bakers. We have 4 corners. So, we're gonna first make the corners more cornered. There we go, it's the 4 corners. I'm fine with this little lip out here. Honestly, we're moving things around. Now, let's go ahead and I think we should set up a bakery and a grill on each corner. Then we're gonna set up a bakery right here. I'm going to keep that grill. I'm going to get rid of these grills, this stuff. And so I want this one to do maple, this one to do cattail, and this one to do bread. I want this one to do potatoes, this one to do chestnuts, and this one to do spatterdock. And then the one over here, the 2 that I'm keeping over here, this one and this one's also going to do maple. And this one is going to do, let's see if there is a difference in, it doesn't really matter, it seems. So, like, we got the grilled potatoes, chestnuts, and spatterdock are all next to each other. So, let's just go ahead and let's do potatoes, because I think we have more potatoes than either of the other 2. So, we'll have 2 potato makers, we'll have 1 of everything else, we'll have 2 maple makers, we'll have 1 of everything else. Once these get done, I will destroy the rest of these. This is a hauling post. I feel like I want to move that hauling post out from the middle. I feel feel like a good spot would potentially be here if I can fit it in. Let's see, a hauling post. I could fit it right here. Or I could fit it right here. Let's move that there. Set up a hauling post here. And we can get rid of these haulers once that hauling post is made. This really does, like, the new look of this area just really does make me happy. It's not reactive anymore. It's like intentional. It's easier for them to get to the warehouses and up and down, and they're not circling around to get to things. It's easier access and easier movement. It makes me so very much more happy that was done. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 done. We're waiting on this one, which they're getting worked on. So let's go ahead and demolish these, this, and we'll keep them. So we got potatoes, spatterdock, chestnuts, potatoes. Let's move this to chestnuts, and let's move this to potatoes, just because. Now, something I've also thought about is, even though they can zip around, they have access up here, they have access over here, they don't have access up here. So let's get that built and put together as well with, something like this. So that they can, any beavers up here, like easier movement up and around. Is this hauling post done? That hauling post is done. We can delete this one, and we can add that to that one. Now, let's figure out what each thing needs, because I'm going to get rid of all the storage right here, right here, right there. And I'm gonna get rid of that for now. So this is maple pastries. So for the maple pastries, we need storage for maple syrup, wheat, and maple pastries. Oh, and at the oh, that's perfect, because at the contemplation spot, you're smelling maple pastries. That's perfect. Perfect. So then we need a liquid storage. And now with that, I want water, or I want storage for water at each and every one of these corners. For water. This way, if they're out getting food at the local bakers, they got the water. And then we can get rid of those waters, which I'm just going to demolish right here and now, because we don't need them anymore. We haven't needed them in a while. No one lives around here. Perfect. Our town center is starting to turn into something good. Let's see how they're doing with it. This is good. That's done. Have they been working on this at all? They have been working on this a little bit. the choice of pathing that they're working is interesting, but they've been working it a little bit. So, let's see. We have some builder's huts. We have a few builder's huts. I don't think we need any more. I think hauling posts, but maybe another builder's hut might be worth it. How many beavers did we have? 10 beavers without a job? Raises a question of what can we get them to do? We got all our food cooking and being made. Hopefully they can, like, fill back up the storage that we had lost because everything got messed up because I messed it up. Because I forgot about the grist mills. And I think what we need to do also is we need to set up a storage for flour, for just regular flour over here. Because we have, or not flour, for wheat. Because we've got wheat flour over here, but for them to get flour, they need to travel very far. So, or for them to get wheat and cattails, they need to travel very far. So let's go ahead and go into storage and do that. And this will be for cattails, for wheat, and for cattail roots. This way it's less as far for them to go. And then, yeah, they still have to go over here to drop off the flour or around here, but it should be fine. It should be fine. It's more that they needed this supply. So we should obtain, and then these should be supply. And where's the cattail storage? That's over here. Cattail roots. Nope, that's wheat flour. Cattail roots. Supply. And that may also be a part of the problem. And, like, I built this so densely right here that building some storage for the cattail roots might be a little difficult. With all of our new blue area, we might be able to set up some more aqua farms. I think that's something we may need, are more aqua farms. So, oh, it's a 7-day drought. We've got plenty of food. We should have plenty of water. I'm actually worried about our food at the moment, though, because of our lack of flour that we have. I am very concerned about our food because we don't have the crackers and the pastries and the bread. But, I mean, it's starting to fill up. Pastries are going up. Crackers are still, have never really gone down too far. Everything should be good once we start getting stuff made again. Again, we have two bakeries making maple pastries. So, with that, I want to do one monument. And I feel like the farmer monument here in the center of town would be good. I think this is a good location. A lot of them are going to be coming around here and just start building the monument. And the idea would be, like, the brazier will go here, the fountain will go probably right here, and then the earth recultivator will go right here. I think that's what the plan is. Well, also, we still need a lot of stuff. The agora. I wanted to put that up here so that you can look over town while having your discussions about being beavers. So let's do that. All just logs, so that's going to be done very fast. And then the last thing I want to do, we haven't done yet, and I've thought about trying to figure out where to put this. the mud pit. Do we need... We need a dirt collector. So, landscaping, we have this. The dirt excavator. Which we could really just place, like, anywhere that there's power. Place it right there. With some stairs. Right there, and that's just going to gather the dirt that we need for the mud pit. Forgot about that. They are level 31 happiness because of the farmer. Level 32 because of the farmer. Is this empty? That's empty, so we can get rid of that. Good. I like the idea. I know I wanted to have a lot of this stuff up here, or like in here, but I like the idea of having it up here so that, like, this is where the meeting hall is. This is where everyone's going to come hang out, and they're going to look over the town. And it's a very good spot to look over the town while they're having a couple of drinks and discussing life. And yeah, it uses 0.2 extract an hour. Because they're getting drunk. They're having drinks. Log storage is going up, or not log, our plank storage is going up. Our gear storage is going. Paper storage is coming back to it. Our scrap metal isn't really hitting very well, but we're not using any mines at the moment. We're still just getting rid of, we're still just doing the ruins. So we have a couple of ruins that are being worked. We have these ruins right here that are being worked, and we have these ones out here that are being worked. And unfortunately, it's not very efficient because they're hauling it back themselves, which I'm fine with. I don't think the scrap metal is very needed at the moment that we're in right now. And there we go. The Agora is going. And then they're setting up some hedges just to make it look nice. Thought about maybe getting access out here. If I could turn this green, I would, but I did just... It wouldn't be... It's not very easy to turn it... It wouldn't be very easy to turn it green, to be honest. I would have to gather water. I would honestly have to use a fluid dump pump. I could figure it out. Maybe make a little man-made lake in here. Just store some water here so that it just looks nice. Let's look into it. Let's figure that out. Now I can't go this way because I had set paths, so they're gonna have to go the long way around. And then we'll have to set up the fluid dump, and we're just gonna do the manual fluid dump. So the way this works is a beaver comes up and drops water into it and dumps water. That's why I wish there were like ways to set up pipes. Like I could do this. I could do what I did here over here to get some water over there. But that's just. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of. It's just. It would then make me have to get rid of the sunflower bed right here. It would make me have to like move stuff around, and I just wouldn't want to do that. No, let's get rid of this scarecrow. I don't like that they're running in circles. I don't like that they're running around. I'm happy about this. Great, so we only have one real area, like I've said, for bad water. It's right here. This is all slowly being worked on as time goes on. Almost connected it fully. They actually, it's planks, but we're actually getting a lot of planks now. We have a huge storage of planks, which is nice. But I'm just, again, going to continue to just let them do this on its own. I think for the most part, I'm going to return medium build to any of the zipline stuff, so that they can just have an easier time getting out here. Like, they can get to here, but it's actually saying that this, well, it's too far to be reached because this isn't done. So they're going to have to build this, which they're actually working on it. And it just takes them a long time to get out here. It takes them pretty much the whole day to get all the way out here. And that's why some of this stuff is taking a bit longer too. So let's high priority all of this, get it all done right away. I want to start working on this, making this just green, just to look nice. I don't know how well this is going to work. I've never done it before. But we're also going to need sensor measures water flow below its arm, depth sensor. And then we'll need it right here once that's done. And that'll pause it when the depth reaches a certain amount, because that's the other problem, and that's why I guess the automation was added, is the other problem with the water pump, this pump, is it would continue to go even when it overflows. It doesn't run only when it's not overflowed. That's why I never really liked using it, but now it makes sense with the automation. I can pause it until the water gets to a certain point, and then once it gets under a certain point, it'll reactivate. We'll have to check that out once this is done. While we're watching and waiting, our dirt collector has completed. So let's go ahead and set up a mud pit. And I want to get this mud pit right here. Treated planks, a wheat. For some reason it needs wheat to be built. And this is almost finished. Oh, I guess we do need storage for terrain blocks. So I'm going to just set that up. I'm pretty sure it's big storage. Is it big storage or little storage? Or underground storage? It's underground storage, or a storage pile. I'm just going to set up a regular storage pile for this right here. Right next to it. We don't really need a lot of it. I don't use a lot of it. I don't use a lot of the terrain blocks. But it was needed for the mud pit. And I believe, like, this will dig all the way down, but it's infinite. It doesn't stop when it reaches bedrock. Alright, now that that's done, let's go ahead. We'll go into automation. We'll set up the depth sensor, right? Yes, depth sensor. Put that right there. And we'll set up the fluid dump right here. Yes. Automate with the depth sensor. Depth sensor. Does it mark it for me? Oh yeah, there we go. So 3.5 is over it. And let's set it up to discharge water. And it's set to the depth sensor. So if it is, measure the water depth below its arm. Threshold 2.85. So once it reaches 2.85, they'll stop dumping. I believe is how that's going to work. How many job vacancies do we have? We have one job vacancy, so we need more. No. Okay. It's unconnected. Let's get it connected. Alright, so it's if the threshold is less than 2.85, turn on. So now this beaver, I don't know where he's going to be getting the water from. He might be getting it just from right here or right there. He might be getting it from here, and he just has to run back and forth to start filling it. And what we can do is maybe beautify this area a little bit as well if we wanted to. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Oh, we have spot for our scarecrow. Let's see him at work. A cow. Yeah, so he's getting it from the closest water source, it seems. He went over here and grabbed it right from there. So he's going to be using a lot of water to fill this up at the start, but eventually it's just gonna he won't have to do it so consistently. That'll turn this whole area green, which makes the Agora like just look nicer because we have some greenery over here and like a little beaver-made lake right there. Usually they make dams. No, this time he made a lake. Well, I will say I am very happy with how today went. We were very productive in spreading out this area and not having it so minimized and start turning it into like the town center, the place to go to hang out and have fun. The next thing that we're going to end up having to do is figure out a way to get power out here because I want to set up the carousel. And if we set up the carousel right here, we're going to need to get power coming out to here, which shouldn't be too difficult. It just means we're going to have to blast down around here again. We'll have to, I guess probably what I'll end up doing is disconnecting this and blasting down through here. And I mean, blast into the ground a little bit to get it over to there. So we'll have to set up the carousel there. Maybe we'll have 2 carousels. I'm not really sure. But all we got left, detailer, the dance hall. We can set up the dance hall anywhere. I feel like having the dance hall over here so that the contemplation point people can look and be like, oh, look, they're all having fun and dancing. Or have the dance hall, have the dance hall closer to the homes. So that this way they can dance and then go right home after dancing and, having a good time. But yeah, I really enjoy it. This little lake is starting to fill up. It's turning all of this green. And I guess that's just something, if I want to start setting up some more greenery around here, that's just something we're going to have to start doing. We've actually got this connected, so they're working on this part of the zip line. They're working on these stairs, so they're getting across here. This is going to be a multi-episode project, getting across here. I'm not too incredibly worried about it. I think for now it's worrying about should we expand and get more beavers, which I think we should. Our little city hall area is not as populated as I was originally planning it, so we're going to need to set up some more homes over here for the beavers to live in, and then we're going to need to make this like the place to be, like maybe potential multiple Lidos and a couple of more of those, but that's gonna be it. Look, we have the mud pit, and then eventually it's gonna be time to make the robots, and once we have the robots, we can start making so many robots that the beavers no longer have to work and they can just enjoy their lives while the robots do the work for them. I'm happy about this. I know we did this last episode or the episode before, but I'm happy about it. It's been 3 rapid recordings in a row, so I'm losing a little bit of I'm losing time a little bit remembering what we did each episode. But I am so happy with our progress over the past few days. I'm so happy with how this turned out over here. I'm so happy with the expansions that we've done with housing, and increasing our storage capacity for all of the stuff that we have. We now have 1,000 planks, so we can actually start doing these big projects without having to wait for planks. Our gears are low at the moment, but we're getting there. I believe we have 2 gear workshops, so we haven't been using a lot of planks. They should be able to catch up with the gears pretty quickly. This is very nice. I'm happy with how our little beaver city is turning. Our beaver county, our beaver colony. Again, I don't tend to like to use the what's it called? Why am I blanking right now? I don't tend to like to use the brain is broken. I don't tend to like to use the multiple districts, but we may have to start a new district very soon because of how long it's taking for stuff to connect, or how the frame rate dropping when I'm adding new pathing. Or I might need to start deleting some unused pathing. Maybe we could like delete over here because we don't actually need it anymore now that it's all done and set up. But they can get around very quickly and easily. They can circle around. No, I'll keep these disconnected. It would be nice to connect them. But yeah, I'll keep them disconnected because some might be coming out here for the contemplation and stuff like that. So yeah, we're in a good spot. We're in a great spot. We've got a couple of builders. I need to double check. We've 1, 2, 3 builders huts. I think that's more than enough builders huts. And then when it comes to haulers, we have I believe I can actually click click this. No, click the workplaces right here, and we can figure out 3 builders huts, and we have 4 grills, 2 hauling, only 2 hauling posts. So that might help us with building, is getting another hauling post. But we have 7 job vacancies right now, so that's not really going to help us. So as we're wrapping up, and I know I think I've already said my outro a few times. As we're wrapping up, I'm going to get us set up with a couple more houses right here. And we're going to need to set up some platforms to get them into their houses. Right there. So we're going to get this all set up, get them ready to go, and next time we'll have them built up and built together. Thank you guys so much. I know I can build vertically. I just don't want to in this playthrough. I want to keep them as ground level as possible. I don't necessarily like building too vertically. But thank you guys so much. Please, if you like what you saw, please do me a huge favor. Hit the like button so the algorithm knows that people like you will like me too. Subscribe to the channel so you get updates and notifications when I go live and post new videos. And leave comments down below. Hints, tips, tricks. I respond to all comments back. Also, be sure to check me out live here on YouTube and on Twitch. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And check out the other videos I make on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Thank you guys so much. Please be careful. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Always hug your loved ones. And of course, like always, be sure to miss my socks. See you all in the next one. Bye.